Have you ever wished there was a better way to have those really difficult conversations? You know, a way to connect with people on controversial topics without everything just falling apart? Well, today, we're going to look at a blueprint for exactly that, created by this small group that's dedicated to building deep, meaningful connections.
And this right here, this is the key. It's the absolute foundation of their entire system. Before they talk about any topic, before any debate, there's this one core idea: friendship. Every single rule, every structural choice, it's all designed to protect the open, loving relationships between the members. It's just such a powerful place to start.
But that's the real challenge, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to say you value friendship. It's a whole other thing to build a system that actually protects it, especially when you're tackling really tough subjects. So, how'd they do it? Well, it all starts with their core mission.
Yeah, their whole protocol kicks off with this really clear and powerful commitment. It's something every single member understands and agrees to. This makes it clear right away that this isn't just some casual get-together. It's an intentional community with a very specific shared purpose.
Okay, so let's break this down for a second, because what's so interesting here is how it balances two things: feeling safe emotionally and being rigorous intellectually. You've got a safe space built on friendship. That's the container, right? And what goes inside that container? Earnest inquiry, open discovery, and compassionate curiosity. The whole idea is that you can ask the hard questions because that foundation of trust is already there.
So, how do you make a mission like that actually happen? Well, this group runs on three main guiding principles. You can kind of think of them as the pillars that hold up the whole structure, turning a nice idea into an everyday practice.
So the first principle is earnest inquiry for truth. And what this means is that they're not there to win an argument or prove they're right. The goal is a collective search for understanding. It's about asking genuine questions because you actually want to know the answer and you're figuring it out together.
And building right on top of that, the second principle is being open to discovery. Now, this one takes some humility, right? It's about being willing to walk into a conversation and potentially walk out with a totally different perspective. It's about real learning, not just finding ways to confirm what you already think.
And this last one, this really illustrates the how. It's healthy and compassionate curiosity. This basically governs the tone of every single interaction. You know, it's the difference between saying, "How could you possibly believe that?" versus asking, "Hey, can you help me understand your perspective on that?" One just shuts down the conversation, the other opens it right up.
But you know, a philosophy is only as strong as the structure that supports it. And this group was super specific about that structure, starting with its size.
6 people. That's it. And that is a very intentional choice. It's small enough to build deep trust, a group where everyone has a voice and nobody can really hide in the background. It makes sure there's intimacy, which is just essential for the kind of vulnerability their mission needs.
And these are the 6: Cannery, Ginny, Larry, Liz, Mary, and Tom. Just listing their names like this is a good reminder that this isn't some abstract theory, it's a real commitment between real people.
Now, check this out, because this is a really clever part of their design. You have the permanent foundation of the 6 core members that creates the consistent trust and safety. But to make sure it doesn't become an echo chamber, any meeting can include a single guest. This lets them bring in new perspectives without totally disrupting the core dynamic. It's a pretty brilliant balance. Consistency is also a huge deal for them. They meet once a month, on a Sunday, at 1 p.m. And that's not just, a scheduling detail. It's a ritual. Having that predictable rhythm creates this stable, reliable space in everyone's lives, and that just reinforces how important the group is.
So what makes the whole thing tick from month to month? The answer is this rotating role that acts as the engine for each meeting: the host. This idea of shared responsibility is absolutely central to how the group works. So the host's job is really clearly defined by these 6 duties. They lock in the date and pick the location. They choose a focused topic and send out any articles or materials beforehand. Then, at the meeting, they guide the discussion and, if they want, they can invite that one guest. It's a complete role that makes sure every single gathering is well-planned and has a real purpose.
And I just love this little detail from their actual protocol. It says the host gets the date from one specific member, Virginia. This just grounds the whole system in reality, It's not some faceless app. It's a group of people coordinating with each other. Virginia is the keeper of the calendar.
And the host has real freedom here. They can choose to meet in a home for a cozier vibe or a neutral space like a library. They pick a topic that's specific enough for everyone to really dig in, And crucially, they send out materials in advance. That way, everyone shows up prepared for a thoughtful conversation, not just a reactive debate. So, when you put all these pieces together, the mission, the principles, the structure, the roles, what you get is way more than just a set of rules for a social club. You get a replicable blueprint for really meaningful inquiry.
Ultimately, what this all shows us is that the structure is there to serve the mission. The monthly meetings, the rotating host, the single guest, these aren't just random rules. They are the architecture that makes safe, deep, and compassionate conversations possible. It's a system designed to build friendship through the process of inquiry.
So all of this kind of brings us to a final thought. This model is pretty inspiring, right? It makes you wonder, if you were going to build a core group in your own life, what would its main guiding principle be? What would you and your friends be dedicated to first and foremost? It's definitely something worth thinking about.